So, all day, all night, all day. The song by Dr. Dewey Smith. I guess it's not by him, but one I'm going over is by him. All right, so this song is in the key of C, Miss Brooks, Dallas Brooks. Now I got your name right. This song is in this key of C, at least the version that I listen to on YouTube. So we'll go over the scale and the number system and we'll get started. So C is the 1, D is the 2, E is the 3, F is the 4, G is the 5, A is the 6, B is the 7, and then you're back at the 1, C. So you asked I can make this too difficult, so I'll try to play it like very simple, and we'll see what we have. If you want it to be more advanced, just let me know. If you want it to be more simple than this, then let me know as well. Okay? So the song starts off with a little, he's doing like, you hear like a. So what this is, a way that you can play it without doing all that other stuff. Play a C major chord in second inversion. That's going to be G, C, E. This is the start of the song. This is one way that you can start it. Okay? That's in your right hand, you got G, C, E. From there, you're going to go to this F major chord in first inversion. So that's A in your right hand, C, F. Okay? So you go from G, C, and E to A, C, and F. Okay? This is the first chord. That's the C major in second inversion. The second chord is F major in first inversion. Now you're going to go back to the original chord that you played, which is G, C, and E. That's first chord, second chord, third chord. Now you're going to go to this chord, which is G flat in the right hand, A, C, and E flat. For your first chord, you got the C major in second inversion. Second chord, F major in first inversion. Third chord, C major in second inversion again. Now you're going to go to this G flat diminished chord. G flat, A, C, E flat. The next chord you're going to go to is this F diminished chord. So you're literally taking this G flat diminished chord and taking it down, everything down a half step. So you go F, A flat, B, D. That's the next chord. So from here to here. And then you're going to be on the 1. Okay? Now the bass to those chords. When you do the first chord, which is the C major in second inversion on your right, that's what it looks like. That's over the 3. So this song goes from you can start off, if you want, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. It's that traditional walk up. But without that, with all that stuff, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. That's what we're gonna do. All right. So over the first chord, you got E in your left hand, and it's the first chord I showed you: G, C, E. That's over the 3. 3 in your left hand, which is E. Now Now when you go to that F major in first inversion, you go to the 4 in your left hand. So you got 3, 4. That's F in the left hand, A, C, F. When you get to the 5 in your right hand, because remember you go 3, 4, 5. So now we're on the 5, which is G in the left hand. In the right hand, you're back at that G, C, E. G, C, E over G. Now when you get to the 6, which is A in your left hand, that's when you go to the G flat diminished chord. That's G flat, A, C, E flat. 6 in your left hand, which is A. Right hand, G flat, A, C, E flat. When you get to the 7, you're going to go to the F diminished chord. B in the left hand, which is the 7, F, A flat, B, D. Sorry about that. That's F, A flat, B, D. And that's over the 7, which is B. Now you're going to go to the 1. C in the left hand. In the right hand, you got E, G, C. Okay? That's C in the left hand, which is the 1. E, G, C. Or any type of C major chord. And no matter what inversion you pick. Okay? You can go back to the, second inversion C major if you want. Or if you can jump like that, you can go back to the root position C major, C, E, G. But, that's typically what people would do, the first inversion C major chord. E, G, C. Okay? So So when you get to the 1, you can just stay on it. There are a couple concepts I want to show you right here that'll make it easy and give you that that churchy, old school type of sound. This song uses a lot of dominant chords, okay? So a lot of the times when you hear that churchiness, what you're hearing is a dominant chord. So what that is, if you were to play a regular C major chord, that's going to be C, E, and G. All right? That's C, E, and G. Now, if you were going to make this a dominant chord, which is what gives you that churchy sound, then you would add the flat 7. Okay? So remember, the scale of C, you got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now when you add the flat 7, we got to go to the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's the 7. So if we was to play a C major 7, it would sound like that. Very pretty, right? But when you want that dominant sound, you flat the 7. Boom, there you go. But that's what gives you that really churchy sound. So that's what you're going to hear first. You're going to hear the all night. So you play some type of a dominant C, a dominant 1 when you go to night. So you got all, which is just a C major chord. And I'm playing it here in first inversion. C in the left hand, E, G, C. And a lot of the times you'll hear that as well. You'll hear them go to the 4. So from here, this E, G, and C, a lot of the times you'll hear them go to the 4. which all I did right there is go from the first inversion C, E, G, C, to the 4, which is F, A, C. That's from here, and I went to the 4, which is the F major chord, and back to the 1. You'll hear that a lot in songs like this, because you'll hear it'll sound like this. Like that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If I change the inversion, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You hear that? All night. You hear that? Do it again, slower. All night. You hear that? Now the thing is, instead of going right back to a C major chord, after you hit that 4 chord, you can go dominant and add that flat 7 in there, which is B flat. Anytime you add that B flat to a C major chord, it's going to give it that dominant sound. So you got all night. Let's do it again. All night. Okay, so start off. Once you get past the walk up, going from the 3, going all the way back to the 1 that I showed you earlier. Now you're on the 1, right? All night. Notice how we went to the 4. All was on the 1. Now when we went to the 4, we're still over the 1. But then we went back to this C major chord and we added the B flat. I hope I'm not confusing you. I'm going to say it one more time just to make sure I ain't confusing myself. So we're going to start with that walk up. The beginning of the song is the walk up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Here we go. 2. Go. On the 1, switch to the 4, and then go to the dominant 1. That was real fast, so. Hopefully you got that. If not, just let me know. Now you can go back to the 1. The 1 is just the regular old C in your left hand, E, G, C. Okay, so that's what you can go to after you do that dominant C major chord. Here's where it is in the song. All night and all. So you go to the just regular C major chord. And all day, yeah. So you can go to something like this. You're going to the 4, which is F in your left hand, and in the right hand you got E flat, G, A, C. You can do that if you want. Okay, that's something you can do. If you want to just go 4 major, you can do that too, which is F in the left hand, F, A, C in the right. It's another option. That's oh, sorry. It really doesn't work, kind of. Not to me. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't really work. I'm trying to figure out how to do this easier. Okay, so Yeah, you can do it. So yeah, you can just go straight from the 1 to the 4 major. You can do it. But what I would do is some type of F dominant chord. Okay? So either this one that I showed you earlier, which was F, E flat, F in the left hand, E flat, G, A, C, or you can even play something like this. Which if you look at it, is literally just an F dominant chord. So now, since we're in the key of F, we're not in the key of F, but we're on the tone of F, we're using its major scale and flatting its 7. Okay? So on F, the scale is F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, right? So with F being the 1, G being the 2, A being the 3, B flat being the 4, C being the 5, D being the 6, E being the 7, and then F being the 1 if you were looking at it in the key of F. So since we're playing this F dominant 7, we have to look at it like we're in the key of F. So if I want to play an F dominant 7, this would be an F major 7, but then you flat the 7, which is E, when you're in the key of F, to E flat, and there you go. Now you got that dominant F chord. I hope I didn't confuse you right there. Since we're in the key of F, we're in the key of C. But right now we're on the tone of F. So if we wanted to make that dominant chord, which is the same shape, if you look at it, I'm gonna keep my hands completely the same if I can, and just move it over to F. Notice how it's the same shape. Anyways, when you're on the tone of F, you have to look at it like you're in the key of F when you're flatting that 7. Hopefully that makes sense. And that'll give you a dominant chord. Now, if you know your inversions, then you can use different inversions of this chord in order to play over the 4. You can do that. You can do this. You can do this. Just changing the inversion of the way that you're playing that chord. So. All night and all day. Right? It works. Okay? Now, you can, you're getting ready to do a 5, 6, 2, 5, 1 progression after you get to this point. Okay? Let me go from the very top so you can see where we are. This is the walk up going from the 3 to the 5, and then from the 5 to the 6. You got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now you're at the 1, 4 chord, back to the 1, dominant. Now you go to the 1 major. Now you're at the 4. And I'm going to show you different ways to play this too, but for now, just to make it as easy as I can. Now you're going to go 5, 6, 2, 5, 1. And that's the angels keep watching over me. Okay, the angels keep watching over me. A lot of the times when people are playing like churchy congregational songs, you're like, glory, glory, hallelujah. You'll hear that. Right? You hear stuff like that, or that. I messed that up, but but you hear that thing, that you hear that type of stuff, and I'll teach all that here pretty soon. But that's basically the type of progression that you're going to be doing right here, okay? And I'll teach you that whole thing. So you got 5. Once you get to the, let's start over. You're on the 1, 4, the 4 chord to the dominant 1 chord. Now you're on the 1, getting ready to go to the 4 dominant. Now you're going to the 5. Okay? When you get to the 5, you got the 5th tone in your left hand, which is G. In your right hand, you got G, C, E. That's G in the left hand, G, C, E in the right. Now, one way that you can play this is like this, which is A in the left, G, C, D flat, and F. Once again, that's A in the left, over the 6, G, C, D flat, F. If you want, you can do this. Or you can just play a C major chord in 2nd version in your right hand, and that's over the 6, which is just G, C, E. You can do that if you want. The angels, see, it still works. The angels, that one works too, if you want to sound more churchy. That's the first one I showed you, G, C, D flat, F. The angels, this is the other one I showed you, which is just a C major chord. In any inversion, it'll still work. You can just play C major, from that 5 to the 6. But either one that you choose, you're going to go from the 5, 6 to the 2. All right? When you play the 2, you can play this chord. If you want it to sound churchy, you go to the 2 in your left hand, which is D. And in the right hand, you have you're basically playing a D dominant. Remember what I said, this song is full of dominant chords. This is the 2nd tone, it's dominant, which is basically this would be a D major 7. This is a D dominant 7. If we were in the key of D, we'll go over its scale and we flat at 7. You got D is the 1, E is the 2, F sharp is the 3, G is the 4, A is the 5, B is the 6, C sharp is the 7, and then you'll be back at the D. Well, C sharp is the 7, and if we're going to play a dominant chord, then we're going to flat it. So you play that C. So you got a regular D major chord, but then you're at the 7, the dominant 7, which is going to be C. And that's basically where we're at. Except I'm choosing to play it like this. So instead of playing it in root position, I'm putting this D on top. Putting that D on top. All right? And that's over the 2. So once again, going from the top, and I'll show you where we are. Start off with the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 progression. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, go. Here's the 5 to the 6 to the 2. And I actually kind of changed it a little bit. So when you get to the 2, you got the 2 in your left hand, which is D. Then you got G flat, A, C, and I'm doing E right here. keep watching. It's actually the melody. Once again, that's D in the left hand, G flat, A, C, and E. You can do the D if you want instead of the E, but I do the E because that's the melody. Now when you get to the 5, because remember we're going 5, 6, 2, 5, then to the 1. When you get to that 5, right before you go to the 1, you can play this chord. G in the left hand because that's the 5th tone of C. F, A, C. And some type of an F major chord over the 5. Over me. So this is over. This chord is what if you're singing over, then you're singing that over the 5. And then you go to the 1. Over me. When you get to the 1, you have a regular C major chord. And no matter what inversion you choose. But I chose this inversion because C is the melody. Over me, which is E, G, and C. That's E, G, and C when you get to the 1. Let's start from the very top again. We're going to go E. So you got the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And then you're on the 1. Then you're going to go to the 4. Then you're going to go 5, 6, 2, 5, 1. And I am going to show you some different ways to play this and add some things. Because you got that, Oh, that's coming. So just give me some time. Very top. 1, 2, 3. I'll slow it down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Go. Go back to the thing that we started and we did before, which is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. But notice how when I was on that 1, I did go back to switching from that C major chord in first inversion to the root position F major chord in my right hand. So you get used to switching between those two chords. Going C, F, C, F, C, F, C, and that's over the 1. And I'm kind of bouncing with it. So 1, duh, duh, duh. I'm sorry. I'm figuring it where you can see it better. 1, so I'm kind of doing it rhythmically. When you're just sitting on the 1, you can do that, okay? So starting from the top again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, go. This is with the just regular C. Now, if on that 2, if this is too hard, G flat, A, C, E, you could just play a regular F major chord. F, A, C, and that's over the 2, which is D. So to simplify it, when you're doing the 5, 6, 2, 5, 1 progression, you can just play a C major chord and any inversion, and you're right. But at this time, I have the G, C, E, which is second inversion. You can stay there from the 5 and the 6. So you got G, and then you got G, C, E in your right. You can stay right there for the 6. G, C, E in the right. And that's over the 6, which is A. Now when you go to the 2, instead of doing that G flat, instead of doing this dominant D chord, you can just go F, A, C, and that's over the D, which is the 2. And then when you get to the 5, you can just stay on that chord. So you have 2 chords you can stay on. C major in the right, C major in the right, 2, you got the F major in the right on your 2, and then F major on the right over the 5. And then you're back to the 1, which is C major, first inversion. Okay? So make sure you understand your options. That way you can make it easier. Okay, so now one option that you can do, and when you get to the after you get to the part when you're doing all night, when he's saying that part, or she singing that part, whoever it is that's singing that part, when you go, usually the first thing I taught you was the and that was the 1 going to the dominant 1, right? That's what I taught you before. So you can go that's when you went to that E major to the F major to the E major on your right, right? Or you can do it like this. You can walk up to this B flat from the G to the A, and then play this chord, which is C. It's still a C dominant 7. It's still a C7. Okay? I'm omitting the 5 right now. So instead of playing the C dominant 7, I'm just playing the tritone, which is E and the flat 7. This tritone of C. Okay? That's I messed it up, but walking from the 5, 6, and then I hit what I just showed you, the tritone, E and E flat. Sorry, E and B flat. The 3 and the flat 7 is what the tritone is. Another thing that you can do when you're on this part, you got notice I did E flat and A. And then I went to E and B flat. So I just took this tritone that I was going to and went a half step below it before I went to it. So I messed it up. Didn't do it again. That's another option that you can do. And you can go okay, so that's 1, and I'm going to walk from the 1 in my left hand. I'm going to walk to the 3. So when I do that, I go 1, 2, flat 3 or sharp 2, 3. So I'm going to walk to the 3 here. Got 1, which is C, 2, which is D, sharp 2, which is E flat or D sharp, and then you're at the 3. So you got 1. Now when you get to the 3, because I walked to the 3 from the 2, when you get to the 3, you got this chord in your left hand, which is, you're basically playing an E dominant chord. Like I said, this song is chock full of dominant chords. So you got C major. Okay. When you get to the 3, you're playing that dominant E, E7, which is E, A flat, B, D. And again, in any of those inversions, you can play it like that. You can play it like that, even though I wouldn't. You can play it like that, even though I wouldn't. You can play it like that, even though I wouldn't. Now, once you get to the 4, because usually before we were just going all night with the dominant and all day. We were just doing that. Now we're adding a little bit more. We're going all night and all day. Right? Now we're at that 4. When we're at the 4, when you walk up from the 1, you got F in the left hand, you got A, C, E flat, F in your right. We went from a E dominant chord to an F dominant chord. Okay? You can play it like that, remember? E flat, G, A, C. From here, because remember, we're going to go to that 5, 6, 2, 5, 1 progression. That's 5, 6, 2, 5, 1. But before we get to the 5, we can go here, which is a flat 5. It's a passing chord to take us to the 5 with the G flat diminished chord. So before I show you how to play that, let me show you where it is from the top. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Switch the chord to a dominant 1. Now we're going to walk to the 3, dominant 3 right here. Now we're on the dominant 4. Now we're going to the flat 5 right here. Okay, that's where it comes in. I'm going to do it slower from the very top. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, walk. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Sorry about the mess up. Staying on the 1, switching to the dominant 1. Now we're going to go 1, walk to the dominant 3, walk to the, go to the 4. Now diminish on the flat 5 right here. Now how to play this chord, you got G flat in your left, you got G flat in the right, A, C, E flat. That's flat 5. Sorry. Yeah, flat 5 in the left. You got flat 5 on the right. You got the 6. You got the 1. And you got the flat 3. G flat in the left. G flat in the right. A, C, E flat. That's the chord over the flat 5. Now you're going to go to the, let me see how. when you get to that 5, it's going to be the same type of a chord progression that you played earlier, going from the 5, 6, 2, 5, 1. 5, 6, 2, 5, 1, which is 5. And here I got the G, C, and E in my right hand. So the 5. You can stay there if you want over the 6, which is G, C, E, again, over the 6. You can go to the 2, and over the 2, remember we were playing that F, A, C. You can play that, or you can play that dominant G flat A, C, E. That's G flat A, C, E. Or you can just play that regular F major chord if you just want to sound, you know, like this. Then you go to the 5. Excuse me. When you're over the 5, you can keep that same chord in your right hand for the G, F, A, C. If you want to make it sound a little bit more churchy, you can do something like this, which is G in the left hand, F, A, B, D. And then you go back to the 1. If you can actually hit the 1 instead of the 7. Okay, now if you notice something that I'm doing sometimes to make it sound a little bit more churchy too, sometimes you can grace note off of this E flat while you're playing, when you go into the 1, when you go into a 1 chord, which is C major. You can grace note off of the E flat in order to give it a little bit more flavor, okay? E flat, grace noting off the E flat. So right before you hit the E flat, right before you hit the C major chord, you can do an E flat to C major. So when you hear that, this is the first time I even tried to do that in that key, but woo. Hopefully you get what I'm trying to do. That churchy thing, I've never tried it in that key, but like in C's got it, but okay. That's what you want to do whenever you want to hear that churchy type of sound. It's just grace noting off of the flat 3. No matter what inversion you're in, you can do the same thing. That's from second inversion. That's from root position. That's from first inversion. So you can do the same thing. Okay, so the angels keep watching over me. See? All right. Over me. Starting over. You can, before you go to the 6, you can do like a circular progression as well, going from the 3 to the 6. So, all So when you go 5 and you're going to that 6, you can go 5, 3, 6, or 5, 3, 6. If you want to play a chord over the 3. 5, 3, 6. There's many different options. So let me show you that. If you want to just go from the 5, playing that G, C, E, and just play the note on the 3, which is E, and then go to the 6 and playing that chord, which is G, C, E, you can do that. The angels, right? Or you can, the angels. So if you want a chord over the 3, you can do E in the left hand, which is a 3. And then you got A flat, C, D, F. In the right, that's A flat, C, D, F, or A flat, C, D, G. A flat, C, D, G over the 3. I wouldn't do that, honestly, because it just doesn't really work unless you're going to this chord, type of a chord, which is some type of an A flat minor 7 or something, where you go 3 to the 6, and then the right hand I got G, B, C, E. You can do that. The chord I showed you over the 3, which is, and then you go to the 6, G, B, C, E. Basically a C major 7 in your right hand. C major 7 in the right hand. And that's over the 6. You can. Sometimes you hear stuff like that too. So instead of going from the 1, staying on the 1, turning it to dominant, I'm going to walk from the 1 to the 3, but instead of going to the 4, which is what we were doing before, we can go to that 6. And you can play some type of a C major chord. You can play a C major 7, which is what I'm playing right now. This is voicing it with the B, C, E, G. This is voicing it in root position, which is the C, E, G, B. This is voicing it like this, E, G, B, C, which I wouldn't, or the original voicing I had, which is G, B, C, E, just down here. And that's going from the 3, the dominant 3, to the 6. You can do that as well. Or you could just play a regular C major chord over the 6. So once you can do that. Right? Now we're over the 6, and we got G, C, E. Right now, I've already taught you the song, really. It's just a matter of adding certain things, and playing it, playing the things that I showed you in the right spots. So now I'm just showing you different options that you can do. So, when you get to the 6, you can go walk down to the 4. So from 6, 5, 4. Some type of an F dominant 7, or F7, the F dominant 7. So you're walking down from the 6, and you're going to an F dominant 7. So right now I got F in the left hand, A, C, E flat, G. From the very top. We're going to do the walk, and then we'll go into the what he's singing. Right? Now here, I walked down from the 6 to the 4, but this time I just did a regular F major chord without that dominant 7. So here's with the dominant. Another way to play it. It's still going walking down to the 4, but now I got that E flat, G, A, C. That's E flat, sorry, G, A, C. From the top. Another way to play over the 1. You got C in the left hand. You got B flat, C, D. Just basically just playing a B flat major chord. A B flat major add 9. B flat, C, D, F. If you don't want to sound so dominant, like a C dominant, which would be more so like that. Here, which would be the B flat, C, E, G. That'll just straight up be the C dominant chord. But here, I just kind of changed it a little bit and made it sound a little bit different with that B flat, C, D, F. Different options. Now, anytime you're going to do this, you're playing some type of a C major chord. Now, what you choose to do from here is kind of up to you. I've shown you walking to the 3. Going to the 3 dominant. Ooh, another thing you can do whenever you walk to the 3. Instead of going to the dominant 3, which is the E dominant 7, you can go to that, I think it's a sharp 5, sharp 9 chord if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, you got the 1, the 3, sharp 5, and the sharp 9. So an E dominant 7 with the sharp 5, sharp 9. I think that's what it would be called. But you can go to that chord, which is the E in the left hand, A flat in the right, C, D, G. When you're going to that 6 or you can even take this to the 4 if you want. It's just a passing chord going to either the 6 or the 4. That's going from the 3 to the 4 to a dominant 4. This is going from the 3 to the 6. Let me see if this one works. 3 to the 6. It doesn't really work. So if you're gonna go to this chord, then you either need to go to do what you want, but you go to the 4 dominant, which is the 4 dominant, which I've already shown you all that, or go to some type of A minor 7 with the added 9, or some type of an A minor chord. I wouldn't just go A minor. I would make it more so like a, playing a C major 7, some type of a C major 7 in your right, over the A. Another thing you can do when you get to that 6, instead of playing a C major 7, you can just play a G major. It sounds strange a little bit, but it can work. So, that's that tritone thing. See, you can play some type of a G major chord in your right hand, and that's over the 6. That's G, B, D, G. That's that walk down to the 4. Or just go into that diminished over the flat 5. The angels keep watching over me. All right. So I think I've given enough. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. And I have been under the weather all week. Another reason I haven't made too many videos. But just let me know if this one helps you out. I tried to keep it simple in the beginning, but then just give you some options. If it wasn't making sense, or if I need to like redo this and do it a little bit more simple, please feel free to let me know. I don't mind doing that. I'm deleting these videos off my phone and recording more videos just so I can record more and more content. There's a lot of more stuff coming out. Keep the tutorials coming. Do not feel bad in any way for asking me to do a tutorial. I love doing this. This is like my passion. I work at Walmart. I come home, and if I get a chance, I'm gonna make these videos. Do not feel bad about asking me to do these videos at all. Keep them coming because I'm enjoying it. It's fun. And I want to continue to share as much as I can. Go back to the Bible with the person that had like 5 talents and the one that had like 3 talents, one that had 1 talent. Whatever I have, I'm going to give it. I ain't going to hide it under no rock and be wicked. I'm going to give it. Okay, so do not feel bad about asking me to do these tutorials or to breaking them down better, because I will reshoot them and I will, go back and try to make it easier to follow. And I did not do a good job at making this less than an hour. I apologize, but God bless you. Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help you guys.